Oh man, I'm gonna have to do this water bucket clutch. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Wow.
People who cheat in their speedruns are hilarious because they're terrible at hiding the fact that they cheated. These are the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns. Alright, this speedrun, their microphone is absurd. What are you using? A toaster oven to record? Anyways, if I freeze frame here, there is a lot we need to talk about. The first thing is their world loads unbelievably quickly, and their timer is starting even though they didn't begin their speedrun, which is weird, but whatever. But wait, there's more. Top left of the screen, I'm sorry, but is that a farmer just looking directly at the ground? What in tarnation? And then this is the last thing just for now. That tree has different kinds of leaves on it. All of those weird things aside, everything else looks very normal. So the speedrunner approaches this tree in front of them, they break it, and then they make a crafting table. And then they make a hoe to break the tree. Buddy, have you ever heard of an axe?
This is the most efficient, don't question me. Otherwise I'm gonna hit you in the head with a potato.
I'm sorry, did he just say I'm gonna hit you in the head with the potato? Alright, I'm confused, but let's move on. Is this guy okay? Well, after the speedrunner spends a good 10 seconds clearing their throat, they approach, I'm not sure what this is. Well, what is this, a mini beach biome? I have never in my entire experience of Minecraft seen sand just hanging out.
Some sort of beachy structure here.
Yeah, so the speedrunner says this is some sort of beachy structure, and then they begin to dig down into the sand. And they find a boat with a chest on it. Their reaction to it is so funny.
We're just gonna, oh my goodness, a boat? What?
They find cooked salmon, they find a leather tunic, iron ingots, diamond, and iron sword. While this is legitimate loot for a buried chest, it would not show up in an oak boat with a chest. Yeah, dum-dum. Well, the speedrunner takes their newly found loot and then they say this.
I need this boat later, just a hunch, I don't know.
Yeah, I might need this boat later, just a hunch, I don't know. I am scared to find out what they're gonna use that boat for.
Sorry guys, my pet goldfish was going for a walk and I had to stop him.
I'm sorry, did the speedrunner just say my pet goldfish was gonna go for a walk and I had to stop him? I'm so confused. Let's just move on. After that, the speedrunner finds a ruined nether portal, which is very, very lucky. They open up the chest, there's 2 axes, golden ingots, golden blocks, fire charges. This is fantastic news. But hang on a second there, buddy. Tell me if you just noticed that. I'm gonna play it again, I'm not gonna point it out, just tell me if you noticed it.
With all this good stuff in the chest.
Did you see it this next time around? You still didn't? Okay, let me help you out. If I go frame by frame, there is the most subtle cut where the amount of obsidian that is in front of them just multiplies magically. And I gotta say, that cut was so subtle, I barely noticed it. Well, anyways, then the speedrunner crafts a diamond pickaxe so that they can mine this obsidian and complete the ruined nether portal. But hang on a second. You tell me, how did they just make a diamond pickaxe? Because if I rewind just a minute ago, the speedrunner had 2 diamonds. So the only thing I can assume is that during that very slight cut, they also gave themselves 1 extra diamond. Yeah, you think you're slick, buddy? Well, the speedrunner legitimately wastes about a whole minute just mining that obsidian. You gotta do what you gotta do. They realize that they can use the fire charges to light the nether portal, so they do that and they enter the nether. But when they enter the nether, their reaction to what is about to happen is just so funny.
Oh my goodness, that's the most rare nether fortress bastion never before seen.
I'm not sure what it is, but the what just makes me chuckle. Yeah, this is a nether fortress conjoined into a bastion. Is this possible? I don't even know. Anyways, the speedrunner creates a shield, and then they enter the bastion or the nether fortress. I'm not really sure what they're entering. After just a few seconds of exploring, the speedrunner immediately comes across a blaze spawner. Now, I don't know if you noticed this earlier, but if I go frame by frame, the golden axe they're using actually has Fortune 3, which is really gonna come in handy. After about a minute or 2 of fighting the blazes, they have 5 blaze rods, but unfortunately they are at half a heart and about to die. And then the speedrunner says this.
I am half a heart, this is not looking good. I might have to put in my resignation now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put in my resignation. I don't know why, it just made me laugh. Well, the speedrunner bucks up, they eat their cooked salmon, and they make a run for it. They get 1 more blaze rod, and at a world record pace of 6 minutes, they run into a piglin in the fortress bastion. And these next few moments are so wildly hilarious because the speedrunner is just screaming at the piglin to get in the hole. I don't know what it is. I am crying from laughing. Just watch this.
Get in the hole. Get in the hole, Piglin. Get in the hole! Get in the hole! That's what I'm talking about.
The way that it cuts to the piglin just suddenly being in a hole is priceless. You cannot make this up. Well, anyways, the piglin is now in the hole. The speedrunner gives 26 gold ingots to the piglin. And again, what you can hear from the speedrunner's microphone is so funny during this trading process.
String? Are you kidding me? I'm not a spider. What am I gonna do with string? Brick. What did I tell you about the brick? I don't need more brick. Oh my goodness, there's ender pearls down there. I didn't even see them. Why didn't you say something to me? You were just giving me brick the whole time when there's ender pearls.
The way the speedrunner just gradually gets so frustrated by their poor trades, and the footage just cuts to, oh, okay, there's ender pearls. That's fantastic news. Well, the speedrunner does get 4 ender pearls, and they craft Eyes of Ender. But they put a charge in their crafting box. Buddy, have you never created an Eye of Ender before? This is priceless. Now, hang on a second. I'm gonna show that clip to you again when they're crafting, and tell me if you noticed what just happened.
My 4 Eyes of Ender. And, yeah.
Alright, you still didn't see it? Let me go frame by frame. Take a look at how I go frame by frame. On the right side of the screen, you can see their sword. But on the next frame, it's a completely different moment. It was a very subtle cut that I barely even noticed myself. But what's different here? They still have 4 Eyes of Ender. Everything seems normal, right? I'm gonna pause it here. Do things still seem normal? Nope. They suddenly have 10 Eyes of Ender. So the only thing we can assume is that there was a very sudden cut. The speedrunner decided, I want more Eyes of Ender, so they just dropped them on the ground in creative mode and cut it all out. Come on, do you think we're bozos? So with 10 Eyes of Ender, the speedrunner returns to the overworld. Then they break a tree and they jump into the ocean. But wait a second, what in the world is that? It's very clear to see that there is an ocean monument in the ocean, but above the sea level, what? Is this a new structure that I just haven't heard of? I think I missed a few updates. Well, the speedrunner swims towards this structure. Once the speedrunner reaches this beachy structure, you can hear them say this.
Luckily, I saved this boat. Might need this boat for falling down a hole, perhaps.
Luckily, I saved this boat. I might need this boat for falling down a hole, perhaps. Gee, I wonder if there's a hole beneath them. So now that the speedrunner has conveniently fallen down into this hole, you can hear them say this.
I really just needed some iron.
Yeah, I really just needed some iron. But you know what? Let's watch them mine this iron and just see what happens here.
And oh my goodness, would you look at that, the portal room?
Their reaction to falling into the portal room is just so goofy. Well, yeah, that all happened very quickly. So the speedrunner fills the portal with eyes and they enter the end. At a world record 12 minutes and 30... Yeah, that's not world record. This guy is literally slower than a legitimate speedrunner. That is just sad. And you could tell they just genuinely have no idea what they are doing. They consume a potion of fire resistance. Why? That is not gonna do anything for you. Then the speedrunner builds up to one of these obelisks to break one of the end crystals, and when they do, there's just the most ridiculous cut. Now listen, some of their cuts in the past have been very subtle, but this one was so blatant, and after this sudden cut, they open their inventory. This speedrunner never in the entire footage got a bow. You can rewind and check for yourself. I'm 99% sure they never picked up a bow, and now they just suddenly have one. And yeah, you hear the speedrunner say this.
Luckily, I got this bow from earlier, like that one time, so...
Luckily, I got this bow earlier that one time. When? Tell me that one time. But the last thing this speedrunner needs is a bow because they are horrible at using it. They proceed to miss every single shot that they take, and then you can hear them saying this.
You guys know I'm one of the best sharpshooters in the nation. Yeah, I'm ranked Diamond Platinum Double 200.
They say that they're Diamond Platinum Double 200. What is that? That's not even a rank. I have no idea what this guy is saying at this point. It's like that one friend who's a know-it-all and they just completely talk out of their rear the whole time. After just missing hundreds of shots, you can hear the speedrunner get frustrated and say that the bow is broken.
You guys know I'm one of the sharpest shooters around. This bow is broken. Come on. Stupid. Finally.
Despite the fact that this speedrunner is genuinely horrible at aiming, they actually are pretty good at water bucket clutches. I'm genuinely surprised. So after they surprisingly do not die from fall damage, they go up to another pillar and they're about to break another crystal. And they miss. Again, what a surprise. But on this next shot, look closely and tell me if you notice what happens.
And if I jump and I hit it, just like that, the end crystal, perfect.
Yeah, that's right. If I go frame by frame, all of the other end crystals in sight are also destroyed at the same time. What in tarnation? How is this possible? Well, after these unexplainable events, the speedrunner does another water bucket clutch. Somehow they don't die. I am actually impressed. The speedrunner goes up to the dragon. They actually do a surprising amount of damage while they're just saying the weirdest words possible. They get thrown up in the sky again, and wow, another successful water bucket clutch. I am impressed. And this is when the biggest plot twist occurs. The speedrunner gets their bow out, they take aim, but hang on a second, what are they doing? When the dragon is perched, bow and arrow does nothing.
This is speed. Just like that, the Ender Dragon is defeated.
What in tarnation? The dragon just faded away into dust. I have so many questions. If someone can explain this to me, that would be dandy. I'm not sure why, but this made me crack up. I can hear the speedrunners saying, he's better than Dream, he's better than his cousin Dean.
Better than Dream, better than his cousin Dean.
This guy just says the goofiest stuff ever while he is speedrunning. Or cheating at speedrunning. Despite cheating and being so horrible at it though, this guy beat Minecraft at more than double what a legitimate speedrunner would be able to beat the game at. Oh, brother. If you're a speedrun connoisseur like me, I'm sure you are very familiar with the Japan World Cup, one of the most prestigious speedrun events in the world. There's so many talented speedrunners in the Japan World Cup. We're just gonna have to showcase all of them. Man on horse, woman on horse, man on horse leaning back with silly hairdo, two people on a horse, person on a panda, tiny person on tiny horse, person on an elephant who's disguised as a horse. I'm pretty sure that's two people disguised as a horse in a barrel. And just like that, the speed run begins. Two people on a horse are in the lead, followed by man leaning back on horse with silly hairdo, followed by woman on horse, followed by just a regular man on a horse. Oh my goodness, never mind. The horse is dancing. Tiny person on a tiny horse is followed by the man on a panda, followed by the man on an elephant disguised as a horse. This is unheard of. Followed by two people disguised as a horse in a barrel. And oh my goodness, just like that, two people disguised as a horse in a barrel, they collapsed. I knew it. I knew it wasn't a real horse. Part of me was thinking it was a real horse, but I know it wasn't. And this is crazy. Regular man on horse is in the lead. The horse is dancing, but man on horse leaning back with silly hairdo is slowly catching up. And that's when regular man on regular horse starts twirling around and they do a leap into the finish of the first lap. But that's not all we're gonna see when it comes to the most extreme speedrunning tactics. Out of nowhere, man on panda gets launched into the sky, and then he's picked up by panda, bear hugged by him, and now they are rolling. Dream would never be able to do this. Then out of nowhere, man leaning back on horse with silly hairdo, he's cheating. They are in a vehicle. This is completely against the rules. Speedrun.com would not approve of this. And just like that, frame by frame, picture perfect finish, man leaning back on horse with silly hairdo in a vehicle wins the second lap by cheating. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm just messing around. This is the wrong footage. This speedrun starts off on the world selection screen, and we could see two new save files hanging out on their screen. Speedrun moment or renew to and never mind. I don't even know. Should I even say that? Well, the speedrunner creates their new world, putting their difficulty into easy mode, which as far as I know is okay. But what's not okay is them enabling cheats. And then when they go on to create their world, Minecraft gives them an error saying these settings are using experimental features. So now I'm kind of scared. What exactly are we about to witness here? Regardless, their loading screen does look normal. They spawn in and everything is as expected here. They spawn in front of some cows, they hit some cows, they get some beef. They actually spawn right in front of a pillager outpost and next to a village, which is very lucky, especially for random seeds. So the speedrunner starts approaching this village. On their way to the village though, they just waste so much time trying to kill this chicken, and wow, this guy has horrible aim, almost as bad as the other speedrunner in this video. I mean, come on, buddy, how difficult is it to hit a chicken? Well, thank goodness the speedrunner does eventually reach the village. While they are in the water, they take a screenshot by accident. I don't know if it was by accident or if they just thought underwater looked pretty. And once in the village, everything looks normal. The speedrunner enters a house, they break a bed, but hang on a second. When they're approaching this next house, the door is already open. And as far as I know, villagers always close the door behind them. So what in tarnation is going on here, buddy? There's only one way we're gonna find out. Never mind. It's just a load of apples. Nothing unusual here. But hang on a second. What is the speedrunner doing? They're just sitting there, wasting tons of time. Until eventually, after wasting almost an entire minute, there is a very abrupt cut where it says set own game mode to survival, and the speedrunner picked up those 8 apples. But hang on a second. What is this in their inventory? I am pretty sure this is not a vanilla item. Well, I don't know. There's only one way we're gonna figure out what in tarnation this item is. So the speedrunner closes the chest, they break this bed, they go into another house, they break another bed. All normal things that would happen in a speedrun here. Until the speedrunner enters this one particular house, they approach this chest, they decide to start breaking it. And tell me if you notice what just happened. I'll play it again and tell me if you see it. Okay, you still didn't see it? I'm gonna go frame by frame here. After the chest is broken, there is everything you'd expect coming out of it. Some bread, maybe some grass seed, the chest itself. What is that? I am so confused. I want to know what this item is. Hey, wait a second. What is this hole? Oh my goodness. That was just about the smoothest transition I have ever seen in my entire life. Are we still even in Minecraft? What is happening here? Yeah, this definitely looks like Minecraft. Is this Skyblock? Guys, I think I missed a few updates here. This is crazy. Minecraft has guns now. It's gory. Wheels is playing Counter-Strike 2. I'm sorry, Minecraft has a grappling hook now? What in tarnation? Alright, I'm gonna be honest. This game actually seems very cool. Can someone in the comments please tell me what this is? After the speedrunner gets a combo of which, if I said this word, I'd probably get demonetized, they suddenly just wake up in the portal room in the stronghold with tons of ender pearls and tons of blaze rods. But that does not help the fact that this guy doesn't even know how to craft blaze powder. Well, they do figure out how to make blaze powder, then they craft Eyes of Ender, and they fill the portal, entering the end. There's not that much more to this speedrun. I just thought that transition was really crazy, and I thought that game that they were playing was interesting, because the rest of the speedrun is really just them going into creative mode and unleashing a rampage on the Ender Dragon. Until they die. Yeah, I don't think anybody taught this guy how to use beds in the end. Rookie mistake. And this speedrunner is just back on their nonsense again. And then they die again. But I guess the Ender Dragon died too, so they beat the game, right? In totally world record time. I am not messing with this guy. That was legitimate.
Come on, make it back tonight.